wanted to give a quick, like a instantaneous reaction video to what I just saw, which is the film called Sound of Freedom. Sorry, I'm trying to like put my thoughts together here. I literally just walked out of the movie theater probably maybe 20 minutes ago. Some concerns going into initial because of the subject matter dealing with child sex trafficking. I was concerned that there would be material that was graphic of some form. I wasn't sure how far the filmmaker is willing to go. I would personally say that the episodes of like Law and Order SVU or Criminal Minds or something of that form are definitely much more graphic. So if you have concerns going into this film that they're showing stuff, quite honestly, it's either mentioned or implied. Like you'll have a scene where it's implied something's going to happen, and then the blinds close. They're more interested in showing you obviously there's the journey of can we rescue these kids kind of, story, which my personal opinion, Jim Caviezel beat Liam Neeson version of Taken. This one has more heart to it. Liam Neeson's just, kill people. So then I'm gonna get into the stuff that it was pretty hard from probably 5 minutes in. Well, 5 minutes in that it was challenging not to. I'm not even sure how they even did this. It was challenging not to end up finding yourself crying, like a lot. I would describe it like watching somebody just kind of slowly rip your heart out of your chest and then tear it into pieces. And then by the end of the film, they're stitching it back together and putting it back in your chest. That's probably how I felt. So, a couple of lines. Well, first, this is probably be a spoiler, but whatever. Anybody who's seen the very beginning, you get where I'm going. I actually have some concerns that the nod they had towards the entertainment industry probably isn't too far off from what could potentially be happening in America right now. You don't have to be in another country to realize that people are using your desire for fame and fortune and recognition of your child's talent, that they will do things. And so you have to be careful. I saw that one scene in the beginning. I was like, no, I know what they're going to do. And then you're just watching it like happen, And once again, I'm not saying it's graphic. You knew, he kind of put in the pieces together. Watching these kids get trapped by false hopes and dreams. So, there's a couple of spots they had. The one dad turns to Jim Caviezel's character, Tim Ballard, and he makes this one comment about, are you a father? So this is what I didn't expect. It's one thing to watch this thing as a parent, and I found it was harder as a dad. Maybe it was because the fact that they could bring up fatherhood. And so he says to him, "Are you a dad? Are you a father?" And And then Jim Caviezel's character, Tim Ballard, says, yeah. And then he turns and he shows him the picture of his kids. And then he says, I can imagine, one of your beds is always empty. And then when you're a dad, I'm assuming the same thing if you're a mom, it doesn't matter if your kid is 2 years old or 20 years old. They're still your kid. And then you sit. Holy cow. You sit there and you watch this and you go, how could his character just look the other way, And some other dad's just begging you. Some other dad's just begging you to say, like, come save my kid. Oh, that was so hard. I don't know what it's like. Why does it hit you so hard? And then there was one other spot. I don't want to sit there crying in my car. There was this one other spot where he's texting his wife. And his wife, I think it was before like a big mission part of the story, and his wife back and forth. And then Tim goes, he's talking about the little girl that he's got to rescue. And he says something along the lines of, I see her like she's one of my own. Wow. Like, there's something wrong if you can't look at somebody else's kid and say, hey, like, I empathize, You shouldn't just care about your own, And so, sorry. And we can't just look at kids as just, well, that's somebody else's problem. Like, what's happened to the world where we can't just look at a kid and say, hey, like, I want to treat you like my own. Like, I should care, right? It's like, this should be the normal. This should be the normal. We should be able to look at somebody else's kid and say, hey, I empathize with you. Instead, I feel like our hearts have grown so cold that we don't see yeah. And so my one last comment. Disney, you had the rights to release this movie, and you chose not to. So either you're cowards or you're pedophiles. Pick which title you want. Because the fact that you refused to release probably was the most important movie of the last probably 5 years. Instead, you're gonna release the Indiana Jones and the what's that called? The Diarrhea of Destiny or whatever they're calling it now. I'm like, come on! You had an opportunity to do the right thing, and you intentionally chose not to. That says a lot about your company. I hope that Angel Studios makes $1 billion off this thing. I mean, that's a long shot, but I hope you make the money that they were supposed to make on that Indiana Jones movie. I hope you guys make it on this one. I must be honest, because you guys have the guts to actually release content that actually needs to be seen. Cinematography, A class, A quality. The directing was A quality. Music was awesome. Two actors, Jim Caviezel, and then the one dude with the little cigar thing. I used to be the former what do you call it? He was part of the drug people, whatever. They're Jim Caviezel. Yeah, he deserves an Oscar, but I'm not sure if the Oscars deserves Jim Caviezel. I'm just saying. When the Oscars used to basically kiss the rear end of Harvey Weinstein, do you really want to have an Oscar? Or what's that, Roman Polanski? And okay, so I'm not sure if you would need one. I'm not sure if you should want one. I'm sorry. Anyways, that's a whole different rant. Jim Caviezel's acting was next level. I'm not sure even how to describe it. Wow. And then the other guy that was the former guy, he's telling his story about how he came to terms with the truth. Oh, that was his story was hard. Anyways, that's my initial. I would say every dad needs to watch this thing. And then just take in that one line about seeing somebody else's kid kind of like it's your own. I mean, if we had a world more like that, I think we'd have a different world. Treat everybody like it's as if they're your own. Anyways, obviously, hopefully my video here isn't too grainy or dark. I literally walked out at, sometime after midnight, so it's kind of dark here. Movie theaters behind me. That's my my initial thoughts. Maybe I'll do something else later, but wow. Holy cow. That just... yeah. That's it.